my friends told me that she wouldn't perform unless I read this, so I will be reading this. This is Wrecking Ball by the very talented poet Miley Cyrus. We clawed. We chained our hearts in vain. We jumped, never asking why. We kissed. I fell under your spell, a love no one could deny. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always love you. I can't live a lie. Running for my life, I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted to do is break your walls. And all you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wreck me. I put you high up in the sky, and now you're not coming down. I slowly turned, you let me burn, and now we're ashes on the ground. Don't you ever say I just walked away. I will always want you. I can't live a lie. Running for my life, I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I never hit so hard in love. All I wanted to do was break your walls, and all you ever did was ache me.
Paying attention now. Is there a way to lower this? Okay. All right. So I thought I'd read Wild Geese by Mary Oliver because that's one of my favorite poems. I don't know if I've read it actually aloud before, so here we go. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things.
Okay, so this is a poem that I recently wrote. I'll come back when roses are running down the streets like blood, when the concrete is frozen, crystallized across the skyline. I'll come back when the shudder of the wind does not burn, and the crown that you wear upon your head is not made of thorns. When the smile you wear is not an accessory, but a custom. When the sea beats against the walls, but we know it will never swallow us. I'll come back when you get out of your throne to greet me, when the riches that are held are worthless, when the grass is green and the sky weeps little rays of sun. I'll come back when the children are frightened of the shadows, not because you lurk inside them, but because monsters do. And when the writing you etch into your bones hurts. I'll come back when I call it home. I'll come back when you bleed those roses and make a crown for me. When you can break your throne and let me sit on your lap. When you can let go of your land and make it ours.
This is Eddie.
Do you want to always be happy? Then give up fighting for negativity and learn the beautiful art of self-encouragement.
Okay, I'm just going to go for this. This poem is called Entertainment. What would you do if you were going to entertain people with your imagination? Would you start a company and wreak havoc for the sick of heart? Would you be an actor and play your part? Would you go on the big screen or perform on a large stage and perform stunts and tell jokes to all of the local tribes? Would you construct a gas fire in front of an elephant? Would you use skimpy girls to dance, have fun for merriment? Or would you go the dramatic route and construct a story about an unknown murderer, where the hero has to track him down without getting killed? Would your swords clash? Would the murderer have a gun advantage? Would the hero have to duck and dodge to deliver a happy ending? If you made entertainment, what would you construct tonight? I wrote a poem.
Okay, so I have 3 things I could read. Number 2, number 3, and number 4. I want to hear applause for which is your favorite number. Number 2! Oh, okay, all right. Number 3! Oh, wow, okay, all right. And number 4. I'm gonna go with 3, okay. One moment. Da, 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 da. Which one is that? Here we go. Momoy went to a private middle and high school down the road from her childhood home in a somnolent, tree-ridden suburbia full of doctors and doctors' lovers off the Massachusetts elbow of I-495. She was diagnosed by the school's in-house psychiatrist with major depressive disorder when she was 12 and given Abilify, then Celexa. She became fluent in Korean at 13 and French at 16. Her grades were stellar. She invited 5 friends for her 17th birthday, and 2 came. She made breakfast before school, before her parents woke, 2 eggs with ketchup, 1 English muffin with butter, and 1 glass of milk with Nesquik chocolate mix. Laid out before her precise as watchwork, she would stare out the kitchen window at the road and its flanking thicket bocage for half an hour. The National Honor Society made her president her senior year. When she went to bed, it would take her 2 good book chapters to fall asleep, and then in the night she would wake sopped with sweat and with her heart at a sprint. Her teachers gushed in PT meetings. Her parents, father anesthesiologist Mother Baker, were gently supportive and encouraged her to follow her dreams, though vaguely and without prescription, and when anything seemed to be slipping, gave her the old shame upon your family routine, and then offered to watch a DVR'd episode of Saturday Night Live together to get across their unified front of care. The first night she smoked marijuana and drank hard liquor was the same night, and she was 15, and she stood weak-kneed at the summit of a hill overlooking the stretched-long Minuteman National Park with her 9 classmates, hunkered on mossed rocks as they all watched their illegal bonfire, all simmers and pops and melted covers of old New Yorkers, and Momoy could not tear her gaze from the ink-tint flames. She was a co-captain for varsity tennis junior and senior years and ran cross-country in the fall. Girls talked of boys' talks of wanting her, and she kissed them, girls and boys, sometimes, and their brief romances were reserved to the realms of text and class parties, always held at Lancey McLean's place, a lesser mansion, Gatsby-esque, with iPod playlists. And in them, she found whole new wide avenues of self-evaluation and terror and the unknown, and though the joy and care of sex shone through in pinpoints, the existential weight of self-reflection via her love for others extinguished chances at connection. She volunteered at the soup kitchen run out of the Unitarian Church and wore disposable gloves to shake poor people's hands. When she walked to school and the light was the right shade of gray, sometimes she could detach and watch her, grounded on the road, backpacked on the march, and feel herself afloat, get caught on the winds over the tree line and whisked somewhere distant and warm, though soon there she was again, caught in that vessel of flesh, being honked at by a stopped 18-wheeler on the tight corner where she was an obstacle. There were no sidewalks. She played a level-headed jazz piano when she wanted to, had time, got roped into the floundering high school jazz band to back up the other instruments on their concert nights on occasion. She was accepted to MIT, Middlebury, Brown, Cornell, and Northeastern, and though Northeastern offered a hefty scholarship, Brown seemed the most free, and she'd come to value that, which she had least of, freedom, moments most open to possibility, long rooms of time in which she could breathe.
By senior year, she had 847 Facebook friends, 27 Twitter followers, and 17 Tumblr frequent rebloggers, and her college essays were well composed and make frequent use of quotes from the works of Nelson Mandela and Malcolm X. And her hands, spiderish and calloused, had weight written at their ends, nails frayed, bitten, jigsawed. These were her gifts.
Lord, my friend's heart has disassembled. So broken it is red dust, a pen is rust. His body is not a house built for silent prayer. It is a church of blood, raw razor pumping for that scar power, axe handle snap, and dirt-faced gospel. We belong to the same church. Our clergy blacksmiths and cutthroats, former party murderers, and never again to be bound choir. Our lobby holds a bowl of holy water full of terrified jellyfish. Come, wash your hands in it again. Feel the frenzied sting of his creatures. It was the Lord's idea to have the sting. Here it is. He has given birth to us to sing in the fight. We are the organ full of bees, the enemies of silence. Sing out your death rattle constant. Sing out your questions with the force and mess of dynamite stew. Listen for the answer echoing, spinning warmth inside you like a Leslie speaker. You will hear it when you're so alone you wish that someone would come and try to kill you just to hear what your cries to heaven sounded like when heaven was listening. I know. You are alone and soaking in it like solitude is blood and the night is the letting. Your heart races with the pressure of everyone in the room finding a slow dance partner but you. I say, tap in. Tap the shoulder. Love is yours. Make the first move. Lose the ones who stepped on your shoes. Love is yours. Love is yours. Let it be its horrible self. Learn it. Love is yours. This church is fully armed. Return to it with devotion. Your spirit is a ready gun. Load it yourself. Only fire it into the worthy. Rise above your grief baits and sugars of sorrow. Spin searing gold from your copper noise. You are better than the demons whispering in your cheeks. You are better than the demons whispering in your cheeks. These floors of self-doubt, they're weak. Don't fall where the heavy have fallen. Lift us into your belief. Let it blast. Let it be a bloodbath with your innards on the floor. No apologies. Welcome yourself back to ugly glory, you. And we welcome you. You new crawling songs, you drunk choirs, you gouged melodies, you nasty bags of glowing mercy. We welcome those with unpaid bone tariffs, those raised by the missing, those boys who got lost in the eyes of another boy, those who loved the cities that hated them, those who kept putting on their gloves for boxing the sanity out, those who couldn't scratch their golden tickets because their nails were ground down from clawing their own way out of their father's casket, those who couldn't get skinny enough to get to the front of the line, those who couldn't stand anymore, so they built splints out of words, out of their own words, depth charges, yes, the choir charging the audience with tambourines in their mouth, yes, kick me when I'm up, yes, hallelujah, we are fucked. Yes, bring it on so we can lift ourselves out of this magpie swamp. The worst thing you have ever been through has always been a fair fight. The worst thing you have ever been through has always been a fair fight. Come to the Church of the New, a building that just says lost and in bold letters found, found, found. This is not a typical church. This is a low-attended funeral. This is skinny sinner bugger kegger, a piñata full of doves that demands beautiful release. Pal, you are church, a house of healing that's the closest thing to the image of salvation since people thought to hold hands when jumping to their deaths from the failure of buildings. Open the gates, my friend. Send St. Peter home. All are now welcome.
Turn on your golden lights. Guide us in. Someone you've been waiting for is coming. Guard your heart minimally. Security threat. Beige. You can carry a knife and still trust everyone. Carry it in your mouth. Every time you open it, we await the sharpening noise of worship. Cry out into the darkness. The sermon does not cease. You cannot be abandoned. You can only be released. Thank you.
For everyone in the back, there are lots of seats in front if you want to come down, and I know sight lines are kind of bad up there, so.
This is not an original. Okay. 31 Status by Jeanette McCurdy. And God said, "It was not good for men to be alone, so he created you." But somewhere along the line, someone changed your perspective, shifted your view. Like Eve, you listened to the wrong voice and took a huge tasty bite of deception. Now your stomach's upset because your spirit won't digest it. No longer the woman that walks in the confidence of ultimate artistic design. Submit your name change. We'll call you compromise. This is what happens when the gospel's according to whoever's at the top of your playlist, and the media has become your Bible, searching scriptures and magazines to be told you are dancing lead in Satan's recital. But you are not her, and she is not you. Because we are called to so much more than makeup, hair, clothes, and shoes, and dropping it like it's hot, even if we're able to. We know our differences are not our reason to be jealous, but God's fingerprint. Don't run around talking about how there are no good men. We know if we apply half as much effort on the inside as we do on the out, we'll stop drawing the wrong attention. Slow to speak, quick to listen. Receiving intervention from a higher dimension, seeking purpose, watching our God-given visions come to fruition, never forgetting that we have been forgiven much. So we eat, we breathe, we give, we live, we even sweat love. Always ready to hear from the women in silver hair. Seeds have been sown, and the wisdom saturates our soil, clipping our dead ends for growth. Your finest always promote unity. Serving in our communities, using our gifts and talents as an all glory to God opportunity. Wake up in the morning with a grind for the Most High on our mind, constantly being refined to be the exact of our architect's design. We have no hearts. So raise the answer before the question. Any man who wants a heart will go to Christ knowing it's in his possession. Yes, we are beautiful. And barefoot in the kitchen of grace, pregnant with purpose, baking up praise, Jesus is who we crave, awaiting to come to full term so we could deliver back what has been deposited. Knowing good and well one day we all will be audited. Mercy gives us second chances so we ain't receive what we ought to give. We needed an intervention. Christ came to do loss prevention. On the cross, he was fully stretched and extended, and we were given an extension. Hear me, an extension. Hear me. Because this price was worth far more than your finest Indian remming. I know we can change the things we don't like off of simple costs, but Botox, lipo, and implants ain't got nothing of what was accomplished on that cross. Because you can't implant in your spirit a new life, or life will suck away your sin. You can't lap band your addictions, and you can't Botox away your depression. We all need him. It's time to change your status. 31 to be exact. Don't be afraid of what's abstract. Let the Spirit of God be what attracts. We are women of a different status. 31 to be exact.
We have time for just one or two more acts in the open mic, and we're going to have David and company singing a song for our ultimate or penultimate act before the final round.
Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give us one moment to like get in key and. All right. Some people ask me why do I drink, and I try to describe that way that I sink into depression deeper and deeper and more, and it usually ends when I pass out on the floor, and I think and I think and I think and I think, and it drives me insane, and I drink. Bankers are swindlers, the president's a worm. All the world wants from life is a good lawyer firm. Everyone says they love, but I can't say those next couple lines. And I think and I think and I think and I think and I think, and it drives me insane, and I drink and I think and I think and I think and I think, and it drives me insane, and then I drink. I'm lying drunk as face down in the mud, yeah, I'm choking, I'm puking, I'm spitting up blood, but don't worry, kids, there's no need to fear, 'cause in 5 minutes more I'll be drinking a beer, and I drink and I drink and I drink and I drink and I drink, drives me insane, and I think guitar.
Last person for the open mic before the slam is going to be Tyler. Yep, come on up.
Okay. I think about dying a lot. Not just dying, but living too. It's a duality, coexistence. I think that dying is okay as long as you've lived enough first. Because dying is just the incentive, the sense of urgency and the reason to do things before it's too late. Because what are you waiting for? I'm not afraid to die. I've been on the edge of life and the edge of death. I've been down and up on some kind of crazy ride called life. I've had nights that remain hazy in my favorite memories, been to concerts that made my heart race until I couldn't even feel anything else anymore. I know songs that give me chills and take my breath away every time. I found home in people and places and things that are not my bedroom. Strange chemicals have flowed through my veins, and I have seen worlds dissolve. I've adventured, I've explored, and I have felt alive. I don't want to die, usually, but if it happened, it would be okay. I'm no longer afraid to live. I'm not scared of taking risks or of stepping out onto the edge and staying there for a little too long, because I'm not afraid to die. And if I have learned anything, it's that life is much different when you are not afraid.